Hey there, welcome back to Marketing Matchmaker. I am super excited about today's episode. I'm actually doing another interview with an intuitively gifted wealth embodiment mentor. Now, how exciting is that? Because let's be honest, we all want more wealth. If we didn't, we wouldn't be business owners in and of themselves. So, Elara, welcome to the show. Please introduce the audience to who you are, what you do, and who you serve.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'm so happy to be here. And yes, thank you to the audience as well. So, yes, my name is Elara Sage. I'm a wealth embodiment mentor and activator. So, I help the change makers, the leaders, to embody wealth consciousness. And what does that mean? It means that we are feeling really safe in our relationship to money. It means that our relationship to money is one that is loving and intimate and two-sided, right? Not just one-sided, healthy, uh, secure relationship to money. And from that relationship, they are easily creating wealth and up-leveling their wealth. This is part of my mission because I strongly believe that the change makers, who are usually entrepreneurs, not always, but most of them are, they're the ones that are here to what I call shepherd in the new era of wealth. And so it is part of my mission to help them understand what that really means, shift that relationship, those limiting beliefs, that mindset work, and the energetics around it so that they can really experience wealth in a way that feels good to their body and to their being.
So what do you mean by the new generation or the new, vision of wealth? What does that mean?
So it means that we are in an era where wealth is going to start to be very much serving from the heart. And this means that people who are really aligned with the heart, with love, with their mission, with really ultimately the service to others, right? That they desire fundamentally to support humanity, because this is the spiritual evolution that we're having here now. And we're recognizing, I know it doesn't look like it externally just yet, but we're recognizing that we're all fundamentally one and that we have to work together to really create the society that we want. So the new era of wealth is rooted in that. Like if I create a business that is really serving others, supporting others to evolve and become better, whatever that means for you, and it's from a place of truly desiring that and of love, that is how wealth is going to start to shift and move and become more accessible to those entrepreneurs that are serving from the heart.
And what do people need in order to like what's that thing that they're generally missing when it comes to creating wealth? I mean, obviously there are probably a lot of things, but if there was one thing that you could say like we really need to work on this.
Yes, it is. We have deep subconscious fears. And when I say deep subconscious, I mean, I have been working on my own mindset, my own subconscious, my own energetics for years, and I still find new ones. And fundamentally, these fears are around power and money.
Mhm.
And if we have fears that if we have a lot of power, what will we do with it? We might do harmful things with it. We might be rejected by others. Same with money, right? We have fear of, having money and having it taken. We have a lot of belief structures around what it means to be wealthy, what it means to hold a lot of power.
Yeah.
Because fundamentally, money comes back to power. And our relationship to power, as we can again see in our external reality, it's very much played out in our governments and our banks and our society. Our relationship to power is not healthy.
That's a true story.
And so that's what we're trying to shift and evolve and heal so that we can experience our personal power and wealth.
So does it come down to learning to trust yourself and like your own motivations when it comes to money, or is there something else out there?
That's a great question. Um, I mean, first and foremost, it's always about self awareness. So, what is self awareness? Self awareness is the willingness to truly see ourselves, you know, we're human. We're not here to be perfect. And actually, we're here to grow and evolve, which means you have to see first the things that you want to let go of. Everybody has habits, patterns, belief structures that really aren't serving them. So self awareness is the willingness to say, hey, you know what? I have these habits, these patterns, and they aren't rooted in, a healthy relationship to money. They're rooted in scarcity or they're rooted in avoidance. And so, first and foremost, through that self awareness and the willingness to see it and the willing to ask yourself what needs to change, what needs to shift, and then really taking that action.
So, how do people like, I know it's about self-awareness, and how do you even become aware? Like what tools or tips, like how do we dive in to even start looking at our own awareness around money or our trust in ourselves or even just our relationship with money in general?
Yeah, definitely. So, I sit my clients down and we ask the questions, what is your relationship to money? There's a really great um, exercise you can do where you imagine yourself sitting in a chair and money, you can put it as a person or you could see it as a dollar bill, whatever floats your boat is sitting across from you. And then there's a third entity, a third perspective. And the exercise is to shift in and out of all three. Like, how do you see money from your perspective? If you were to put yourself into money's shoes, how does money see you? And if you were put yourself in a third party's perspective, how would that third party, objective observer, view your relationship to money? And by sitting yourself into each perspective, you gain a great deal of insight. When I do this with my clients, a lot of times, what they're seeing is, yeah, they're not showing up in a healthy relationship with money, right? Like I had one client who really realized how much she didn't want to look at money unless money was flowing into her space and she was, utilizing it for what she wanted. The
Yeah.
rest of the time, she didn't want to look at it. She didn't want to look at her finances. She didn't want to face hard truths about her spending habits. And really look at all of the parts of the relationship between her and money. And just through asking those questions and spending time in those three different observations and perspectives, she gained so much clarity. And then from that clarity, she was able to say, okay, these are the first couple of things I'm going to start to work on, right? Because it can be overwhelming. Like there can be a whole list of things
Right.
between you and money. And if you go, okay, how am I going to change this whole thing? You're probably not going to go anywhere. So if you pick one or two things, you're going to focus on those things, you're going to change those habits and patterns, and then you'll find success there. And then that will fuel you to do it more.
So, how does someone even start? Like, how do they even begin to understand if they're ready to step into money, right? Like, is there something that's showing up in their life over and over and over again that they should be recognizing?
Several. So, for one, if you're a business owner and you play the roller coaster road, right, where some months are really great, other months aren't, where you just aren't finding the clients because we have a belief structure in business, particularly, that we have to grind
Mm,
and you have to go find the clients. And the truth is not that. The truth is that we can work with our own magnetism and the way that we're presenting ourselves out onto social media and all the different ways we market to be magnetic to our ideal clients. We don't have to go chasing money. So if you find yourself feeling like you have to go chase money, you're trying to analytically figure out how you're going to create more money by going after it, then you're already missing the understanding of what money represents, which is a currency of energy. So you aren't tapped into that currency of energy. Another way is your spending habits. So it's always about either receiving or spending, right? And, do you sit with your intentions of spending? Are you really sitting with particularly those big purchases, but even smaller purchases. Does this really serve me? Or am I just in a habit right now of spending money? Or am I having an emotional insecurity that is causing me to spend money?
Right.
That's a really big one. What is the purpose of really spending money here? And am I doing it from a place that feels good, that I am spending that money from gratitude, from appreciation, or is it just flowing out the door? Also, do I believe that by spending this money, it's going to fix an issue? Same thing with the earning money. Is spending or earning money going to fix an issue? Because fundamentally, it won't, because the issues are far below money. They go beyond money. Even issues we think that are money related, like cash flow and I can't pay my bills, it's actually not related. It is, but it goes back down to personal power. So questioning how easily does money come into my space, and how easily and what is the my belief structures and my mindset when I'm spending the money, as well as holding on to money. Why do I hold on to money? Why do I save money? There's nothing wrong with that. But again, really asking yourself those questions, because if you're clear, oftentimes we're holding on to money because we fear it won't come in anymore. Right? We
Yeah.
fear, where's the next? I don't know. I don't know where the next money is going to come in. So I'm going to hold on to money. Again, money is a currency. It likes to flow. And as soon as we believe that it doesn't come in, it doesn't come in because we're telling it not to.
Absolutely. I love that perspective because I think a lot of business owners, especially, get stuck in that cycle of that roller coaster where, they get money, they lose money, they get money, they lose money, um, which is exhausting,
It is.
honestly. So once they've recognized the problem, that there is an issue with money, whether it's that roller coaster or it's the fact that they have none, what's their first step? Like, what's the first thing they need to do in order to shift that?
As I mentioned before, it's really about being honest about your relationship to money. I like to think of it as if money was a lover. Like, what is the ideal loving, intimate relationship that you want? Like, write it out as if it was a person. And then note what doesn't exist out of that list between you and money. Because ironically, it all should be there. Even the parts that we don't realize should be there. And so again, it'll show you, and really, money will show up. Money is always there. It's our side of the relationship. So when you do that, it's so easy when we think about relationships to be like, well, that's just not the right person. That person's not that way. That person's not that way. We need to turn in on ourselves, because from my perspective and everything I teach, we create our reality. And so you're creating the relationships, you're creating other people in your life. We're creating the relationship with money. So when you sit down and you write that list and you really are honest with yourself, it's very transparent. Like you can see very clearly, how I'm showing up in this relationship is this way. And then again, like I mentioned, pick one thing, two things to focus on at a time, because this will actually go into all of your relationships. You'll see how the relationship to money does actually reflect your intimate relationships and other relationships in your life. And you'll see these same aspects of how you show up in the relationship to money and how you show up in the relationship to other people as well. So it's very transformative, and it takes time to give yourself that spaciousness.
I love that suggestion. So for the audience out there that might be struggling right now with money, with how they're going to get it, how do they reach out to you? What's the best way for them to connect with someone who might be able to help them along this path?
Absolutely. I have a membership. It's called Prosperity Portal. And this is where every single month we are addressing what's called limiting beliefs, because humanity has a lot of them, right? Money is the root of all evil.
Oh my
Money
Lord,
doesn't
yeah.
grow on trees, right? You have to grind. These are all belief structures that are deeply programmed into our subconscious mind. So every month we're taking a new one of those, we're deprogramming our subconscious mind, and we're reprogramming ourselves with the truth of abundance of money. So it's a really great way to play in these spaces and watch how this stuff is showing up for you. It's deeply transformative.
Awesome. Awesome. And I know you also have a podcast. So what's the podcast? How do they find you?
Yes, it's called Wealth Embodied, and it's all about wealth consciousness, creative genius, and visionary impact.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for being on today because I think most of you out there in this audience probably have some type of money block. If you're not making millions and billions of dollars yet in your business, the likelihood is there's something behind that you're not attracting the wealth that you desire. So if you are struggling, reach out to Elara, head over to her podcast and listen. Join her membership. I think it can give you that access to the wealth that you've been looking for. And for those of you that are struggling with your marketing because you don't know where to go first or next in order to grow your business, head over to yourmarketingmatchmaker.com and sign up for a free strategy session. I promise that you will walk away with at least one actionable item that will help you to grow your business, increase your revenue, and scale your impact. Thank you so much for joining me today, Elara. Do you have anything else you'd like to share with the audience before we wrap it up?
I just want to remind everybody that we are naturally abundant creatures. And if you're not experiencing that, just like Jennifer said, you can change that. You do have the power to change that.
Awesome. Until next time, get out there and make some money. Thank you for listening to the Marketing Matchmaker podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love to hear your feedback. Please head over to Apple, iTunes, and leave a review so we can hear from you. And if you are a coach, consultant, or online course creator who are looking to grow your business, increase your income, and scale your impact, connect with me at yourmarketingmatchmaker.com. I look forward to hearing from you.